Hello, Barcelona family. Feel free to like and subscribe to the channel to stay updated on everything about Barcelona. In this video, we will discuss a major recruitment move for Barcelona. But before that, we need to address other topics that are also very important for our beloved club. Let's start with the first topic. In the corridors of Camp Nou, a name is resonating strongly again, a name that not only generates enthusiasm but also represents hope for the immediate future of the Blaugrana attack. Benjamin Cesco, the young Slovenian striker currently at RB Leipzig, is starting to feature prominently in the Catalan club's sports agenda as a possible strategic addition. The sports management, with the full support of Hansi Flick, is already analyzing in detail the player's situation and the real possibility of turning him into one of the star signings of the next summer transfer window. And it's not without reason. The current context demands bold decisions, a projection towards the future, and above all, a clear vision to consolidate a competitive team capable of fighting for everything. The name Benjamin Cesco is not new among Europe's top clubs. At 21 years old, the RB Leipzig striker has established himself as one of the most promising talents in European football. His imposing physique, scoring ability, mobility, and intelligence in the penalty area make him a profile that fits perfectly into the playing structure that Barcelona wants to build under Flick. The German coach knows the Bundesliga well and has closely followed the striker's progress, so his approval is not just a formality but a well-founded and thoughtful technical decision. Barcelona's interest in Cesco is neither fortuitous nor opportunistic. It responds to a real and strategic need. The attack needs a gradual renovation that does not break the current structure but begins to shape the team of the future. The possible departure of key attacking figures at the end of the season has set off alarms and internal movements. Cesco is emerging as the ideal option to take over without the team losing quality or offensive presence. RB Leipzig, for its part, has valued its gem at €84 million. A significant figure, yes, but one that Barcelona's sports management considers manageable if the operation is properly planned, including variables such as revenue from sales, salary reduction in other sectors, and resource optimization. It's not about splurging but moving intelligently, as has been done in other cases where the club has successfully incorporated great talents with structured and sustainable operations. At Camp Nou, they appreciate not only the immediate performance that Cesco can offer but also his potential for growth. Unlike other young prospects, the Slovenian striker has already shown remarkable competitive maturity. He has played high-level matches, been decisive at key moments for his team, and demonstrated that he does not falter when it comes to taking on responsibilities. He has character, ambition, and a technical profile that can adapt without problems to Barcelona's style of play. His ability to play as a reference, his mobility to drop to the sides, and his precision in finishing make him a player who can make a difference. Another factor that has influenced the growing interest in Cesco is his behavior off the field. Humble, disciplined, committed to his development, and focused on his career. From the club's environment, his professional attitude, willingness to learn, and openness to new challenges are positively appreciated. It's not just about signing a player but incorporating an asset who contributes both on and off the pitch, who is an example for the younger players, and who fits into the philosophy that characterizes the club. In the Camp Nou offices, they are also studying the strategy to follow to avoid entering a bidding war with other clubs. Chelsea and Liverpool have also shown interest in the Slovenian, but their movements seem to have cooled down in the face of the price demanded by the German club. This is where Barcelona sees an opportunity. With patience, good management, and a clear plan, it is possible to negotiate under favorable conditions and conclude an operation that will undoubtedly mark a before and after in sports planning. From Germany, some media claim that Leipzig is already beginning to accept that it will not be able to retain the striker beyond next summer. Internal conversations between the player and his entourage indicate that he is seeking a new challenge in his career, one that allows him to continue growing, competing at the highest level, and being part of an exciting project. And this is precisely where Barcelona has every chance to convince him. The club represents a unique opportunity for Cesco, both sportingly and personally. Wearing the Blaugrana jersey, playing in a mythical stadium like Camp Nou, being part of an institution with a glorious history, and being surrounded by some of the brightest talents in world football is a dream for any player. Additionally, the style of play proposed by Flick favors the development of strikers with Cesco's characteristics. An offensive game of high pressing, constant mobility, quick combinations, and a strong presence in the box. Among the Barcelona fans, enthusiasm is also starting to grow. Although there is no official confirmation or concluded direct contacts yet, the feelings are positive. At this stage, the question is inevitable. What do the Barcelona fans think of this possible signing? Is Cesco the striker who can lead the team's offense in the next decade? Do you think he is the right name to initiate a new era? Voices on social media and forums are starting to coincide. The arrival of the Slovenian would be a wise and bold strategic move. Of course, there is still a long way to go. The negotiations will not be easy, the price is high, and there will be competition. But if this club has demonstrated one thing throughout its history, it is that it knows how to fight for what it wants. And when there is a clear vision and a solid project, great players do not hesitate to bet on the shield. Cesco could be the next to do so. The sports management continues to work silently, analyzing every detail, every move, every possibility. There is conviction, planning, and above all, a real desire to return to the top. The signing of Cesco can be one of the fundamental pillars of this reconstruction that is already underway, because Barcelona not only wants to return to competition but wants to return to victory. The summer of 2025 is shaping up to be one of the most eventful in recent years. And in this scenario, the name Cesco could well end up being one of the absolute protagonists. And you, Barcelona fan, what do you think? Does the idea of seeing Cesco in the team's attack excite you? Do you think he is the man needed to mark a new era of success? History remains to be written, and everything indicates that it could be exciting. The second piece of news concerns a very important decision in our beloved club. In the heart of the county city, where football is more than a passion and is lived as a cultural expression, a new era filled with illusion and certainties is beginning to be felt. One of them bears a proper name and has earned, through effort and commitment, his place in the club: Rafinha. Amid the typical turbulence of the transfer market, where every day a new rumor, a new offer, or a tempting proposal from other leagues emerges, the club has decided to draw a clear and firm line. Rafinha is now non-transferable, not out of necessity, but out of conviction. The arrival of Hansi Flick has generated new energy in the environment, and the German coach did not take long to define which players he considers key to shaping the team he wants to build. One of these fundamental players, without a doubt, is Rafinha. The coach has expressed this in private and hinted during his first meetings with the management that he counts on the Brazilian not only for the immediate present but also as a structural part of the new model he wishes to implement. His approval has been total, further strengthening the club's determination to ensure the continuity of the winger. Joan Laporta, always attentive to the sentiment of the supporters and the balance between the economic and the sporting, has shown his absolute support for the idea of securing the player, not only for his performances, which have been undeniable in key moments of the season, but also for his professional attitude, his commitment to the group, and his ability to take on responsibilities in moments of maximum pressure. Laporta sees in Rafinha the type of footballer who represents the values of the club: commitment, humility, the ability to overcome obstacles, and talent at the service of the team. Rafinha has had to overcome obstacles from day one. His adaptation was not simple. He arrived with high expectations, coming from a different league and with a style of play that required a deep understanding of the team's philosophy. But far from being discouraged, he worked with humility. He strived in every training session, listened to his coaches, and refined every aspect of his game. Little by little, he earned the respect of the dressing room and the affection of the supporters, who appreciate effort as much as talent. Over the months, Rafinha has not only found his place on the field, but also in the hearts of the Barcelona fans. His vertical play, constant dribbling, defensive sacrifice, ability to assist, and goal-scoring instinct have been key to keeping the team in the fight during decisive moments. He has not needed protagonism nor to make the headlines. He has spoken with the ball, with the sweat on his jersey, and with an attitude always up to the club's demands. That is why it is not surprising that the club has initiated conversations to offer him a renewal that strengthens his long-term commitment. The new contract would provide an improvement in his salary conditions, in line with the performances offered and his new role within the team. It is not about astronomical figures, but recognizing the value of those who have demonstrated that they deserve to continue being part of the project. From the player's entourage, there is also a sense of tranquility. Rafinha feels loved, valued, and comfortable in the city. His family is fully adapted, and he has expressed his desire to remain linked to the club for many years. There are no doubts, no external pressures, nor desires to seek a new destination. What there is an authentic connection with the jersey and a firm desire to continue growing with it. It is true that inquiries have come from other leagues. Teams from the Premier League, Arabia, and Italian Calcio have asked about his situation, But the club's response has always been the same. He is not for sale, not because there are no economic needs, but because there are decisions that must take precedence over urgencies, and one of them is ensuring the permanence of those who have demonstrated their commitment to the project. Hansi Flick has made it clear that he wants to build a competitive, brave, dynamic, and character-filled team, and for that, he needs players like Rafinha. His tactical vision, understanding of the game without the ball, ability to execute transitions, and collective mentality fit perfectly into what the German seeks to implement. It is not a whim but a sporting necessity, and the club has understood this from the first moment. In the offices, the plan is drawn. The intention is to finalize the renewal before the start of the pre-season to avoid distractions and allow the player to focus on the sporting aspect. The conversations are progressing at a good pace, and although there are details to be defined, the optimism is total. They are working with discretion, without unnecessary leaks, but with the certainty that the agreement will arrive soon. Meanwhile, the supporters watch closely, because Rafinha is not just any player. He is one of those names that are already spoken with respect in the stands, one of those faces that children imitate in the parks, one of those examples that deserve to be celebrated. That is why the question is inevitable. What do you think, Barcelona fan? Do you believe that Rafinha should continue to lead the wing in the coming years? Do you agree that his renewal should be a priority? Are you moved to know that one of our own wants to continue giving everything for this shield? It is not just about statistics or goals. It is about identity, belonging, building a solid group with footballers who understand what it means to represent the club. And Rafinha understood this from day one. He has known how to earn every minute with work, faced criticism with maturity, celebrated victories with humility, and assumed his responsibilities in defeats. This type of commitment is not bought, not negotiated, it is valued and protected. For all these reasons, Rafinha's permanence should not be seen as a mere contractual decision, but as a declaration of intentions. The club wants to build on solid foundations, and one of them is having players like him in the dressing room, players who do not seek the spotlight but become essential. Players who are ready to give everything for this jersey. Players who, with the support of the coach and the affection of the supporters, can be decisive in the coming years. The future is already being written. Hansi Flick has begun to design a new project with clear ideas and ambitious goals. In this future, Rafinha already has a secured place, and for those who love this club, this is excellent news. Now, the word is with the community of supporters, because this club is built together, because the most important decisions are always made with the heart. What do you think, Barcelona fan? Are you with Rafinha? The answer, as always, will be in the stands, in the streets, in the homes, in every corner where this feeling is breathed. Rafinha stays, and with him, a part of the identity that makes the club great. The third piece of news concerns a major shake-up in the club. The gaze of the greatest club in Catalonia turns once again to the center of the European market, this time with a clear ambition, to strengthen its attack with a player who is making his mark in elite football. Luis Diaz, the Colombian international who has shown in England with his ability to break lines, score goals, and assist his teammates, is today one of the club's major targets for the next summer transfer window. This is not just any operation, it's not just another name on the agenda. It's a strategic bet, a decision with a future vision that, with the approval of Hansi Flick, has gained momentum in the entity's offices. At a time when a new sports cycle is being projected, the possible incorporation of the Colombian winger represents much more than a recruitment. It symbolizes the desire to return to the top, to compete for everything, and to do so with elite players who are committed and hungry for glory. Luis Diaz has had a fantastic season with the English club, and his numbers speak for themselves. 17 goals and 8 assists in 48 matches. But beyond the numbers, his impact on the game has been devastating. His dribbling, verticality, ability to face defenses with personality, and physical strength have transformed him into one of the most complete and unbalancing wingers in current football. He has reached an enviable football maturity, and all this has not gone unnoticed in the county city, where he has been followed with attention for a long time. The new technical team, led by Hansi Flick, did not take long to give the green light to the operation. The German coach considers Luis Diaz an ideal footballer to integrate into the playing model he seeks to implement. In his notebook, he not only evaluates the Colombian's offensive qualities but also his defensive commitment, his ability to adapt to different tactical systems, and his experience in high-level competitions. Flick wants a team capable of alternating possession and vertigo, which can dominate with the ball but also punish on the counterattack. And in this plan, Luis Diaz appears as a very valuable piece. The sports management, with its head at the forefront, is working silently but with determination. It's not about improvising but planning each step with rigor. They know it's a complex operation, both due to the economic cost it would involve and the competition that could arise for the player. The estimated figure to conclude the transfer would oscillate between 80 and 90 million euros, a high price without a doubt, but which is analyzed as a strategic investment if the departure of some players with high salaries or low participation is materialized. The priority is to maintain the economic sustainability of the project without giving up sporting ambition. In this regard, the club has demonstrated in recent years that it is capable of reinventing itself, assuming financial challenges responsibly, and, at the same time, continuing to be a reference in the market. The plan is to optimize resources, free up salary mass, and bet on incorporations that truly bring a qualitative leap. Luis Diaz fits this profile. He is not just a name with media impact. He is a player with proven performances, a trajectory that inspires confidence, and enough hunger to triumph in an environment as demanding as that of Camp Nou. On his side, the player's entourage is observing the situation with attention. Although in England, they are still working on a possible extension, the conversations are not advancing at the desired pace. The Colombian's current contract ends in 2027. But the absence of a definitive agreement opens a window of opportunity that the Catalan club wants to exploit. It's about being attentive, positioning oneself intelligently, and advancing with discretion so that, if the opportunity arises, the operation can be materialized without delay. The truth is that the interest is real, serious, and sustained. It's not just a market rumor, but a well-defined strategy. The figure of Luis Diaz has been analyzed in depth by the technical team and the technical secretary, and all agree that his incorporation would represent a top-level reinforcement. Moreover, his character, humility, and competitive mentality fit perfectly with the club's values. In every interview, in every public statement, the Colombian demonstrates that he is a committed professional, focused on work, and with a desire to grow. And that, in a young and under-construction dressing room, is key. The supporters are already starting to get excited. He is a player who, when at his best, can make a difference against any opponent, and that is precisely what the team needs to take the next step in its competitive evolution. Last season left valuable lessons. The growth was evident, but it also became clear that certain areas of the field need to be strengthened to compete for everything with guarantees. And in this plan, the attack is a priority. Having more variance, more depth, more goals, and, above all, adding footballers capable of performing from day one. Luis Diaz would not need an adaptation period. He is used to playing under pressure, in hostile stadiums, with high expectations. He has experience in the Champions League, has played in finals, has been a figure in complex contexts. His maturity is an asset that cannot be underestimated. Moreover, his arrival would send a clear message to the continent. This club is back, not as a secondary actor, but as a protagonist, as a club that does not settle for participating but wants to dominate, that does not limit itself to participating in the Champions League but wants to win it. And for that, it needs to surround itself with the best. Luis Diaz would undoubtedly be one of those names capable of changing dynamics, contagious ambition, and raising the competitive level of the entire group. And now, the question is direct for you, Barcelona fan. What do you think of this possible incorporation? Would you like to see Luis Diaz in our team, deploying his quality, speed, and character on the pitch? Do you think he is the ideal reinforcement for the attack? Are you ready to dream of a project that once again bets on great figures to build a winning team? The voice of the supporters has always been fundamental, and in this stage of renovation, even more so, because dreams are built with talent, yes, but also with passion, feeling, with that unique energy that comes from the stands. The coming months will be key. The market will move, negotiations will intensify, and names will gain importance. But what is already certain is that Luis Diaz is in the crosshairs, not as a simple alternative, but as a real priority. If the conditions are met, the club wants to be ready, because it knows what Luis Diaz can bring, because it knows that he is the type of player who makes a difference, and because it understands that to reconquer Europe, ambition and quality are needed. And Luis Diaz has all that. And you, Barcelona fan, are you ready to dream with him? Give us your opinion in the comments.